I never imagined the two people I trusted most would one day look at me like I was nothing. Not a wife, not a sister, just an inconvenience. My husband cheated on me, but not with a stranger. He cheated with my sister. And the part that hurts the most isn't what they did, it's what they expected me to do afterward. From the outside, my life looked absolutely perfect. I had a stable marriage. We hosted family dinners every single weekend, and I had a sister who always called me her best friend. People used to look at me and say, "You're so lucky. You have everything." And honestly, I believed them. I thought I did. My husband was charming, the kind of guy everyone instantly liked. He could walk into a room and win it over in minutes. And my sister, she had always been close to us. Maybe too close, though I didn't see it back then. She laughed a little too loudly at his jokes. She would defend him whenever we had a small argument, even when he was clearly in the wrong. She even finished his sentences sometimes, like she knew exactly what he was thinking before he did. I told myself I was just being paranoid, that I was imagining things. After all, she was my sister. My blood. Why would I ever suspect her of something so awful? It seemed impossible, so I pushed those feelings down, ignored the little red flags, and convinced myself that their bond was just a sign of a healthy, happy family. I wanted to believe that. I needed to believe that. I look back now and see all the signs were there, flashing like neon lights, but I was so invested in the illusion of our perfect life that I chose to be blind. It was easier than facing the ugly truth that was growing right under my nose. The truth didn't come out in some big, dramatic confrontation. There was no screaming match, no throwing plates. It was just one single, quiet moment that shattered my entire world and changed how I saw everything forever. I came home a little earlier than usual one evening. I was excited to surprise him, maybe suggest we go out for dinner. But when I walked in, the house was quiet. Too quiet. It was the kind of silence that feels heavy, that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Then I heard it, a sound from upstairs. Laughter, her laughter. It was unmistakable. My heart dropped into my stomach. I stood there at the bottom of the stairs, completely frozen, just listening as that sound drifted down the hallway, echoing in the silent house. It felt like a punch to the gut. Every step I took up those stairs felt like I was walking through cement. My hand was shaking as I reached for the bedroom doorknob. When I finally pushed the door open, they jumped apart like two guilty children caught stealing cookies. The image is burned into my memory. My sister couldn't even look at me. She just stared at the floor, her face flushed with shame. And my husband, he started talking immediately. He tried to explain. He didn't apologize, not at first. He tried to explain it away, as if this colossal betrayal was just a simple misunderstanding, like I had just walked in on a surprise party they were planning. But there was no surprise, only a sickening, heartbreaking reality. Do you know what the worst part was? The absolute most painful, soul-crushing part of it all. They didn't beg for forgiveness. They didn't panic and scramble to fix what they had broken. They just looked at each other and then at me with a strange sense of relief. It was like they were glad the secret was finally out in the open. My sister started to cry, but they weren't tears of remorse for hurting me. They were selfish tears, shed because the situation was now uncomfortable for her. And then my husband said something that I will never ever forget. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "It just happened. You'll understand." He wanted me to understand. They sat me down on my own bed in my own home, and they started talking about their feelings, their deep connection, their confusion. They talked as if I was a therapist or a mediator, not the woman whose heart they had just ripped out. It was surreal. I felt like a third wheel in my own marriage. And then came the final blow, the ultimate insult. They asked me to forgive them, not in a "we'll do anything to make this right" kind of way. It was more like, "Let's just get past this so we don't have to feel guilty anymore." They expected me to just absorb the pain and make it easy for them. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I didn't burst into tears and beg him to choose me, to remember our vows. I just went quiet, completely and utterly silent, and I could see it on their faces that scared them more than any outburst of anger ever could. My silence was a void they couldn't understand or control. They were prepared for a fight, for drama. They weren't prepared for calm. I told them I needed time. I told them I was deeply hurt. I told them I would think about it. And because they were so wrapped up in their own selfish world, they believed me. They actually thought my silence was a sign of weakness. They looked at me and saw a broken woman, someone they could manage and eventually win over. They were so wrong. My silence wasn't weakness. It was the sound of a plan beginning to form. While they grew comfortable in their new reality, thinking the worst was over, I started paying attention. Really paying attention. I became a detective in my own life. I documented everything. I saved text messages. I noted the dates they were together. I wrote down every lie they told me and every excuse they made, and as I gathered my evidence, I watched them. I watched how quickly a bond built on betrayal starts to crumble under the slightest pressure. It was fascinating, in a tragic sort of way. My husband, who was always so confident, became paranoid. He started checking his phone constantly, questioning her about who she was talking to. My sister, who had stolen my husband, became incredibly insecure, constantly needing reassurance from him. They started to argue, small at first, then bigger. They blamed each other for getting caught. They accused each other of ruining everything. The very thing they thought connected them was now tearing them apart. And through it all, I stayed perfectly calm. I smiled at family gatherings. I was polite when they were in the same room. I played the part of the wounded but forgiving wife so well that they completely let their guard down. I let them think they had won. I let them believe they had gotten away with it, that I was just going to quietly fade into the background. They had no idea I was just waiting for the right moment. When the whole ugly truth finally came out, it wasn't because I said a word. It came from their own mistakes, their own carelessness. The web of lies they had spun became too complicated to maintain. Family started noticing things. Friends started asking questions. The whispers started, and their reputations began to collapse, not with a bang, but with a quiet, devastating implosion. My sister lost more than a forbidden relationship. She lost the trust of our entire family. She lost the respect of her friends. She became isolated. And my husband, he lost something he valued even more. He lost control. The perfect image he had built for himself was shattered, and suddenly, when his world started falling apart, he wanted me back. Suddenly, he was deeply, truly sorry, or so he said. They both eventually came back to me, separately, asking for forgiveness. Not because they loved me, not because they realized the depth of the pain they had caused. They came back because they were alone, and their little fantasy had imploded. They were scared, and they wanted the comfort and stability they had thrown away. I listened to everything they had to say. I let them pour out their pathetic excuses and their desperate apologies. I watched the fake tears and heard the hollow promises. And when they were finally done, I didn't give them a big revenge speech or a dramatic "I told you so." I just turned around and walked away. No big ending, just quiet dignity. Because I learned that the best revenge isn't about destruction. It's about survival. It's about building a better life for yourself. And the ultimate justice. It was letting them live with the knowledge that they didn't destroy me. They only destroyed themselves. If you've ever been betrayed by the people you trusted the most, remember this. Your silence is not weakness. It's your power. It's your control. If this story resonated with you and you want to hear more real stories of betrayal and sweet revenge, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss what comes next.